Analyzing linear function. So we have a piecewise function here, and we're going to analyze it in multiple ways. The graph of this did not show up correctly. I'm sure why. So this is the graph I've sent you electronically. We want to start by analyzing where does this function decrease, increase, or constant. Remember, whenever we analyze increase, decrease, and constant, we're always going to use parentheses for these three. Always use parentheses. Always describe it in terms of x values and analyze it from left to right. So we can see this first part is constant, right? It's a horizontal, it's not going up, going down. So this is constant. I'm going to go to the constant section. Where does this occur in terms of x's? Well, it comes from the very far left in terms of x's, and it goes up to -2. Don't worry about whether it should be a bracket or a parenthesis, because all three of these always have parentheses. From left to right, this middle section is increasing. Think of yourself as running, you're going uphill. Okay, so going uphill from an x value of -2, increasing, all the way to an x value of +2. Where does it decrease? Well, it starts decreasing after it leaves this point. So from 2 as it goes to the right, going down is a y concept, left to right. Remember, we're describing in terms of x's, left to right. So it starts at 2, and after it leaves 2, it continues to decrease as it goes to the right. Okay. Now, in terms of positives and negatives, remember, anything that's on the x-axis is considered neutral. Above it, positive; below it, negative. We will use both parentheses and brackets when appropriate. So where is it positive? Up here is positive. So in terms of x values, it comes from the far left. That's positive, and it's positive all the way to an x value of -2. Because I have an open circle, I don't actually consider it as part of this function, which means I have a parenthesis. Now, where is it negative? This portion is negative, so from an x value of -2 all the way to an x value of +2. Here I have a closed dot. I'm going to include it. Here's an open circle. I do not include it. How do I do this portion because it still is negative? Well, remember, at 2, it's not actually positive or negative, it's neutral. But after it leaves 2, that's why I'm using a parenthesis. And as it moves to the right, it will continue to be in the negative region or below the x-axis. Let's analyze the end behavior. What does this mean? As I move to the far right, so way over here, when this function enters in this region, what's happening? Is it headed down? Is it headed up? Or is it constant at one value? And we can see it's headed down. Down. As I go to the far left, way over here, when it enters that region, it's constant at a y value of 3. Alright, so next, remember, this represents an x value, and this answer is the y answer. So let's go to -5. Here's -5, and it corresponds to a y value of 3. Let's go to -2, and you may be confused, well, which one does it correspond to? It's the closed dot. This is part of the function, y value of -3. Go to 0, -2, go to +2. Again, a little confusion. We're going to the closed dot. What is the y value here? 0. Go to 4, -3.